BBC Home Service. Here is the news. It was announced by the Home Office today that the mysterious noise heard over a lonely part of Inverness-shire yesterday was caused by a supposed meteor falling to Earth.
What's a meteor?
Reports
I don't know,
indicate
Tommy.
that a
It was a good job it didn't
large
drop on
glowing
anyone, if you ask
fell
me.
harmlessly
Oh,
into a
here's your
field.
auntie.
Many reports have since come in regarding an unidentified white aircraft.
Come on now, Doris,
seen
turn
over
it
the
off.
Hebrides
You
last
can read
night.
all about it in the papers in the morning. And it's long past Tommy's bedtime. Off you go, Tommy. I'll be up to tuck you in 10 minutes.
All right, Auntie.
But, Mrs. Jameson, there's a meteor drop near here.
Meteor, a bit of rock from the sky. Tommy,
Yes, Auntie. I'm going.
I'll be real glad when his parents come up from London and take him off my hands.
It's sort of romantic, isn't it? Coming all that way just to drop in our back garden.
Oh, you're fair daft. Mrs. Matthews in the village said it dropped near Auchinary, and that's nearly 40 miles away. Now get on with your work.
Professor Arnold Hennessy, the well-known astrophysicist, has traveled north today to investigate the mysterious object and will give a detailed report to the Home Office of its size.
Professor, if you can tear yourself away from your own hero worship for just a minute, maybe you can make something of this map, huh?
I'm no good at reading maps.
Look, you plot stars millions of miles apart in the heavens, yet you can't even read a map of Scotland. Do you want to know something, Professor?
What?
We are lost.
Marooned in the Highlands in the depths of winter. You know, this whole thing is a waste of time. I don't believe it'll turn out to be a meteor, or more probably an engine cowling of an aeroplane.
Anyway, we're seeing bonny Scotland.
Robert Justin, who earlier today escaped from Stirling prison, is still at large. His description is as follows. Height, 5 feet 10 inches, fair hair.
Jamie,
Yes, my dear?
and where are you going?
Just into the lounge, dear.
Into the lounge bar, you mean? Well, you'll stay here. If you're thirsty, there's plenty of water in the tap. And Doris.
Yes, Mrs. Jameson?
Hurry up with those dishes.
Yes, Mrs. Jameson.
It isn't Robert now, Doris. It's Albert. Albert Simpson.
Have they let you out?
With my luck, what a chance.
You've escaped then. They're after you.
What do you think?
And you came here. Why?
I got your letter, Doris. You said you took this job to be near me, that you'd be waiting for me when I got out. Well, I'm out.
What can I do?
Give me a bite to eat, somewhere to sleep.
You know what you're asking.
I know. Well, if you'd rather not.
Heavens alive, who are you?
He's on a hiking tour, Mrs. Jameson. Got lost on the moors and luckily saw our lights.
My name's Simpson. Albert Simpson.
You want a room and a bath? Well, I don't see your luggage. You'll have to pay in advance.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Isn't it awful, Mrs. Jameson? He's lost his wallet. He's just been telling me about it. There he was crossing the stream and he looks over to see a fish that's in the water and next thing he knows, His wallet's gone.
I'd be willing to work for my keep.
Very well. I can't refuse your hospitality. I'll find you plenty of jobs to do, don't worry.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
But I warn you, I'm counting the spoons.
Thanks, Doris.
I could drop her something?
Those things you wrote, what were they? Letters to a dead man?
Yeah.
I broke out of there because I couldn't stand it anymore.
You're hurting me.
Because I had to see you again.
You killed her.
It was an accident.
Was it an accident you married her instead of me?
Don't, Doris, don't.
Take your drink, Albert. And I'm sorry. Let's talk of something else. Have you been, Albert? How did they treat you in there? Did you read a lot? You used to like reading, Albert.
Stop it! Who's staying in this place?
Only Mr. and Mrs. Jameson and their little nephew, Tommy. That was David. He works here. Gives me the creeps. Then there's Miss Prestwick.
Who's she?
A model from London. Real good looker. What she's doing in a place like this, I don't know.
Good evening, Mr. Jameson.
Good evening, miss.
Looks as if we're going to have a storm.
Indeed it is. But storm or shine, you are always pretty as a picture.
The suit is man-tailored from more grosgrain. The detail and pockets being unusually interesting, their effect being enhanced by the classical simplicity of the skirt.
You don't say, miss.
The suit may be used for town or country wear.
Hey, and what about wear in the Scottish hotel in the middle of winter?
Jamie!
Oh. Come in, my dear.
Mr. Simpson's a new visitor, miss. Just arrived.
What are you, a fisherman?
No, just a hiker.
Your face seems awfully familiar to me.
Really? Doris, where's the kitchen?
Through there.
Well, extraordinary man.
What does it say?
Lock something that way and the Bonnie Charlie this way. Sounds like a pub.
We'll take the pub.
And a drink.
Jamie, you're at it again.
Yes, my dear.
Put that down. The minute my back's turned, there he is taking a dram. Jamie, did you hear what I said?
Put it down, dear.
I can see you have.
My wife has a most unpatriotic contempt for our national beverage, miss.
You should see him when he has a patriotic head in the morning. I'll have no patience with you.
Here we are, Professor. The Bonnie Charlie.
Look, Carter, I'm a very busy man. I think we should push on ahead. We could get a good deal further tonight.
Professor, I've been driving since daylight. I'm not moving out of here until the morning.
All right, but you won't get much of a story here.
Well, I can always dream, can't I? Let's have a couple of big scratches. Right? We can knock them up.
Well, go and see what they want, Jamie. Maybe somebody's come to buy a drink.
Yes, my dear. All right, I'm coming. 6.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I wonder if you can fix us up with rooms for tonight.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, gentlemen.
This is an inn, isn't it?
Indeed, it is that, sir. But you see, we're really closed for the winter, except, of course, for the bar.
Ah, then by all means, lead us to the bar, Mr.
Jimmy's.
Right.
Thank you. Certainly. Come in and warm yourselves, gentlemen. This way.
Ah, fire. Good.
Yes, in a bar.
This is my wife, gentlemen.
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do?
Good evening, gentlemen.
My dear, they want accommodation for the night.
We lost our way. We had rooms booked at Auchenary, but...
Well, that's 40 miles away. You can't drive as far at this time of night. Most of my rooms are closed, but, well, I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you very much.
You won't find everything as it should be, mind, but the beds are good. Well, I expect you'd both like something to eat.
What I need most is a drink.
Of course. I'll serve you myself, sir.
You'll do nothing of the sort, Jamie. I'll send Doris to look after the bar. You go and get the bags out of the car.
Yes, my dear.
Why, hello.
Good evening.
My name is Carter, Michael Carter. I'm a correspondent in the Daily Messenger.
Oh, really?
I write a weekly article. You'd probably read it.
Oh, probably not. I don't read the Messenger.
Oh, well, such is fair. You're not the landlord's daughter. You're a guest. But from where? And why here in the depths of winter? Now, there is an interesting clue. Not many girls drink tomato juice unless
Unless what?
they're afraid of putting on weight. I know. You're an air hostess. So you're not an air hostess. Who are you?
I'm Doris.
I'm Michael. I should like a very large whiskey and a very small soda. Possibly this lady would like another.
Oh, Miss Prestwick only drinks tomato juice.
Hello there, Mr. Jameson. Professor jar me in a drink. Miss Prestwick is avoiding me.
Oh, I'm not at all surprised. How do you do? My name is Hennessy, Professor Hennessy.
The professor would like a scotch. Mr. Jameson, what about you?
Oh, thank you. I'll have a wee scotch, too.
Professor Hennessy, that's it, the radio. You were on the 9 o'clock news. Something about you coming up here to look for thunderbolts.
Well, of course, there's no secret about it. Thank you. The Home Office has asked me to investigate a meteor that's evidently fallen near Auchenary. Mr. Carter here, he's covering the newspaper side of it.
I'm sure I saw a flash of light in the sky.
Really? Just a shooting star, to give it its popular name. Quite a common phenomenon, Miss Prestwick. Nothing to worry about.
I've seen them before, Professor, and this was a much larger flash.
When a matter such as the one I'm investigating gets reported in the newspapers, well, naturally people start imagining all sorts of things.
You mean I thought I saw something that wasn't there?
Well, you probably exaggerated its size. Come on, have a drink with me. That's it.
Ah, welcome back to the happy circle.
Well, let's all have a drink on me.
No, this time it's on the house. It's not every day we have a distinguished professor from London, a writer for the newspapers, and a right bonny lassie staying with us. Drinks on the house.
Jamie, what did you say? It's a good thing supper's ready. Will you take your places, please?
Right.
I hope you won't mind eating here, but it's the only room we're able to keep properly heated in the winter. Professor, will you sit there?
Oh,
Mr.
thank you.
Carter?
Thank you.
Now, I'm sure you're all going to like my Scotch broth.
I'm sure we will.
We've come a long way just to see a wee bit metal from the skies, Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter's editor hopes it'll turn out to be a flying saucer. Journalist.
Come now, Professor, don't be too hard on us. Newspapers are published every day. We've got to fill them with something, you know.
And a couple of spaceships would come in very useful. Exclusive to the Messenger.
Crude but correct.
Why
Thank
not? Scotland, of all places, the home of the Loch Ness Monster.
I won't hear a word against that decent animal. No, it did Scotland a power of good, man. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Aye, that was the time you saw 2 monsters, Jimmy. Now, where's the bread? I told that young man to bring it. Albert. Oh, there you are. Well, come in. Come in.
Well,
What is it?
I know you.
I don't think so.
Doris, be careful what you're doing, girl.
That's Albert Simpson, Mr. Carter. He's a guest here.
Is that so?
And very welcome, too, isn't he, Mrs. Jameson?
Maybe he won't be so welcome when you know who he really is. Don't you read the papers? Don't you listen to the radio? Professor.
I'll go too, my dear. You, Miss Spacecraft, better stay here.
We can't get any closer. It's white hot. Where are you going, Carter?
I've got a telephone.
What is it?
Wait, you better get to the phone. What's happened? What's going on?
What is it, Mr. Carter?
Hello, hello.
Mr. Carter, what
Hello,
is it?
hello.
Is it a jet?
What's the matter with this thing? Hello, hello.
Mr. Carter.
Hello, hello. It's an aircraft, all right, but like nothing I've ever seen before. Hello.
What do you mean?
Hello, hello. It's like something from another planet.
Professor, what do you make of it? That thing out there?
I must confess I'm completely baffled. Beyond the fact that it's some kind of plane or high-velocity missile.
Or spaceship.
That I'm very reluctant to believe.
But, Professor, it looks like a flying saucer.
Now, we mustn't let our imaginations run away with us.
I quite agree with you, Professor. You'll see the proper authorities will be here directly to take it away.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Where's Albert gone?
Who?
Albert Simpson.
Oh, yes, I guess he's taken the opportunity to get out while the going's good.
What do you mean?
I mean that Simpson's real name is Robert Just.
A murder that escaped from Sterling jail.
He's not a murderer.
Isn't he? The jury thought so. Hello. Hello, hello. Here I am with a flying saucer in my lap. Not to mention the escaped convict. I can't get this phone to work. Hello.
Professor, how do you think it looks now?
It's red hot. That means it'll be at least 2 hours before we can go near it.
Mr. Jemison, how far is nearest phone?
7 miles.
How far is the village?
7 miles. That's where the house with the phone is.
Well, I'm going right there. You coming, Professor?
Yes, the Home Office should be informed of this without delay.
Come.
Mr. Carter!
Yes?
Mr. Carter, I know it sounds silly, but I don't like to be left here on my own.
Oh, you'll be all right. We won't be long. All right, Professor.
Who's there? Anyone there? Anyone?
Don't scream, please.
It's you. Go away from me. Go away from me.
It's all right. I don't want to harm you, you or anyone else.
What are you doing out here?
I don't know. I just had to get out of there while I could. Please, don't give me away.
I must say you don't look dangerous.
I'm not. Believe me, I've never hurt anyone in my whole life on purpose.
Mr. Carter said that you...
I know, and he was right in a way, but he doesn't know what really happened.
It's none of my business, and I'm far more frightened of that thing out there.
Thanks. You know, when I first met you, I thought you were pretty stuck up, but you're not. You're a really nice person. Well, I've got to get out of here.
You poor thing. You're really far more frightened than I am. Haven't you got any friends?
I've got one. Well, you better go now, and thanks.
Good luck.
We've spent a lot of time together in this kitchen, Jamie, over the years.
Yes, my dear. Oh, it's all right, my dear. I'm with ye.
I know, and I'm glad of it.
Oh, Albert. thought you'd gone.
Where is everyone?
The professor and Mr. Carter have gone down to the village.
That reporter, did he say what he was going to do about me?
I don't know, but I'm sure he'd turn you in if he got the chance.
He won't get it.
Why did you come back? Why didn't you go when you could?
Because I couldn't leave you just like that.
Come on, I've got an idea.
What is it?
Don't do that. Someone might see.
What is this?
You're staying here.
No, I can't do that.
Why not?
It's the risk you've been taking. If they found out you've been hiding me, you know what it would mean. Prison for you, too.
But no one's going to look for you here. That reporter thinks you've gone.
They never give up looking for me, Doris.
But you won't be you, silly. We'll make you look different. Maybe you could grow a moustache. You'd look nice with a moustache, Albert.
And then what?
Well, perhaps we could go abroad. Just the two of us.
Ireland. You don't have to have a passport for Ireland.
You know, when you came back tonight, I was frightened. I didn't know. Now I do know.
What do you know, Doris?
I love you. I've always loved you. I've got to go now.
Is the tank full?
The tank is full. I've checked the carburetor and ignition. This car is perfect. I can't understand it.
Just like the telephone. Well, what's to be done now? Do we walk to the village?
Professor,
Huh?
I think we'll stick around here.
Yes. You may be right. Otherwise, we may miss something important. Come on, let's go inside and not stand freezing out here. This way.
I'll try that phone again. Doris fixes up a couple of big scotches, will you? Hello.
Doris.
Oh, hello.
Doris, what's the matter, girl? Mike.
Hello.
Come over here a minute.
Huh? What's the matter?
What do you make of this?
She can't see us. She can't hear us.
Doris.
What's wrong with her?
Her pulse is racing. She's had some kind of severe shock.
What's the explanation?
Hypnosis, perhaps, or...
Or what? Something to do with that thing out there.
No, that's absurd. I tell you, that's absurd. What? Who are you?
My name is Nyah.
Where do you come from?
Mars.
Mars. But that's preposterous.
You men on Earth are much as we expected.
we scientists were always skeptical about the possibility of life on Mars, but certainly nothing so human.
You are a scientist?
Yes.
You are a very poor physical specimen.
You speak English.
Of course. You are English, aren't you? What other language should I speak?
You speak other languages.
I speak them all.
You pick up our radio.
Of course.
Is this the first time any of your spaceships have landed on this Earth?
Yes, this is the first landing.
Why did you land here?
A miscalculation. The course was set for London, but the planet's atmosphere was thicker than expected. A part of his ship was torn off.
The supposed meteor, Professor.
Yes.
Repairs will take about 4 Earth hours.
Are you alone in the ship?
Johnny is with me.
Johnny?
Johnny is a mechanical man, a robot with many of the characteristics of a human, but improved by an electronic brain. The metal from which the spaceship is constructed can reproduce itself.
The metal reproduces itself. Do you realize what you said? They've turned the inorganic into the organic.
Just why are you going to London?
Many of your Earth years ago, our women were similar to yours today. Our emancipation took several hundred years and ended in a bitter, devastating war between the sexes. The last war we ever had.
So you've had wars too?
All inhabited planets have had wars. Some have ended by wiping themselves out.
How?
For every new weapon invented, a defense was perfected, until the ultimate weapon was developed, a perpetual motion chain reactor beam.
Incredible. What form did it take?
As fast as matter was created, it was changed by its molecular structure into the next dimension, and so destroyed itself.
So there is a fourth dimension.
After the War of the Sexes, women became the rulers of Mars, but now the male has fallen into a decline. The birth rate is dropping tremendously, for despite our advanced science, we have still found no way of creating life.
So you've come here for new blood?
In a way. But also to test a newly invented organic metal, of which my ship is built. On Mars, some think I will not return, that the metal is too unstable. But when I get back, we will build more spaceships. Meanwhile, I will select some of your strongest men to return with me to Mars.
And if they don't want to go with you?
There is no if.
Your philosophy may not be appreciated. How do you propose to subdue London, or anywhere else for that matter, once you take your pick of the men?
A simple matter. The nuclear ship contains a paralyzed array mechanism, capable of freezing all life over a wide area.
Like you froze me just now.
Yes.
Michael, Professor, don't you understand that this thing from Mars can destroy all life?
But we must look objectively on what's happening. Mars offers the scientific millennium now. This is the turning point in the history of the world.
Oh, you're back.
Mrs. Jemison, may I introduce your latest guest, Miss Nyah. She comes from Mars.
Oh, well, that'll mean another bed. She's come from where?
From Mars.
Oh, Jamie. Jamie. Oh.
Mr. Jameson, where is he? I'll go after her. Mrs. Jameson! Mrs. Jameson!
Oh,
Mrs. Jameson, what happened?
It's David. I can't find him anywhere.
Jamie, David, he's vanished.
Aye, where can he be?
Do you think he's gone with Simpson?
No.
The lass is right. He'd never go with Albert Simpson.
But have you?
Of course.
He's here alive?
No, he was superfluous. A hopeless specimen.
Do you know what to do in this earth to murder like you?
No. Do not try to follow me. You cannot get help. Around this house, I've drawn an invisible wall through which no one may pass, in or out.
An invisible wall. I don't believe it.
Well, I do. When she went out of here just now, she just vanished.
But that's absolutely ridiculous. I'm a scientist. I believe what my brain tells me to believe, what I can see with my own eyes.
Even when it's there and you can't see it, Professor?
And that explains the car and the telephone not working.
I'm going to try and find this invisible
No, Professor,
wall.
no!
Come back, Nunk! Come back!
Oh, Mrs. Jameson, what's to happen to us? To all of us everywhere.
I don't know. But whatever comes must be met with courage. Remember that and put your trust in the Lord. Come on, Jamie. While we're still alive, we might as well have a cup of tea.
Oh, it's you.
What are you doing up here all by yourself?
Well, you can see that thing better from up here.
The tomato juice girl wouldn't by any chance have a scotch around, would she?
No, but I've got some brandy. Here, help yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Why'd you do it, Michael?
Do what?
Drink so much.
The girl is as good as she is beautiful.
Don't try and be too clever about things, Michael. It's like drinking, you know. Doesn't do any good.
All right. Who was it?
Name?
Not important. It isn't a story.
It's a very old story. He was a dress designer. Very handsome. Very sophisticated.
And very married. He's the artist and you're the model. You better talk about it. After tonight, you may never have another chance. If you're so much in love with him, why are you hiding from him?
Because it's no good. It never was and it never will be. This isn't the first time I've run away. Only he always found me.
As you always hoped he would.
And now I've come here. To a Scottish inn.
Where he won't find you. And you know it. My dear girl, you're on the way to recovery. As your friend and advisor, I tell you, you may now safely take a drink.
You know, I don't really like the taste of alcohol.
Really? Well, it is an acquired taste. And I've acquired it.
Did it take you a long time? To acquire it, I mean.
Long enough. There was the Spanish War, the invasion of Italy, D-Day, Belsen, spell in Czechoslovakia. A few atomic explosions which I did not see. And now this. A Martian ship, a flying saucer. But for me, it's not so much a landmark as journey's end. Now I'm letting my hair down. It's that thing out there.
And it is there, Michael.
Good Lord.
What is it?
Come on.
What's happened?
What is
She wasn't lying. It's there.
What is it?
The invisible wall. I walked down the garden, down the end where the slope is. I crashed into it. It was just like crashing into a brick wall.
Professor, good gracious.
I'm just a little
Mrs.
shaken.
Jemison, we better get him inside.
Oh, dear.
Take it easy.
Steady.
Put him in that chair, Al.
Thank you.
There they are, nurse. Quietly.
All right.
Michael, give me a handkerchief.
Dear me.
Give him a little brandy.
Here, you poor man, drink this.
Thank you.
What does one do about something one can't even see?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
But I do. She's got a gun of sorts, then so have I.
Jamie, give that thing to me at once. I'll have no one playing with firearms around here. Someone might get hurt.
That Mrs. Jemison is a general idea.
You mean you want to shoot her?
We've no choice unless
What?
we take her prisoner. Or even for that, we'll need the gun. It isn't just for us. There's enough destructive power in that ship to wreck the whole country. You better let me have that, Mr. Jemison. I'm used to things like this. It's kind of ancient, isn't it? How many shells have you got?
Just the 5. Mind you, I don't know if it'll work. It hasn't been fired these 20 years.
Oh, boy. Mr. Jemison, go behind that bar. Pretend to be busy, will you? Professor, stay right here. Mrs. Jemison, Ellen, I think you better go outside.
I'm not leaving Jamie.
And I'm staying right here.
All right, if that's the way you want it.
Michael, listen.
You are all very quiet. No doubt you are resigned to the inevitable. That is wise. Professor, I observed your encounter with the electronic wall. Today it is you who learn the power of Mars. Tomorrow it will be the whole world.
Put up your hands.
And why should I put up my hands?
Because if you don't, I'll shoot you. Get back or I'll fire. Get back!
You fool.
Get back! Shoot, man, shoot!
You poor demented humans. To imagine you can destroy me with your old-fashioned toy. What do you know of force? Forces will use it on Mars. But you shall know. You and the rest who dwell on this planet. I can control power beyond your wildest dreams. Come. Come and you shall see.
What do you think you're doing?
Who are you?
Hang on a minute, kid. You can't go down there.
Sure I can. I've done it often.
Maybe, but not at night. Kids like you shouldn't be around at this time.
I want to see the aeroplane. Did you see it come down? Come on.
Now look, kid. I'm in enough trouble without looking after you.
What sort of trouble?
Oh, trouble.
Are you a Secret Service agent?
No.
Gee, maybe you're a killer.
No, kid, but you shouldn't say things like that.
Come on, mister. Auntie will see us if she comes outside. Let's get into the trees and look at the aeroplane. Gee, that's something.
Now, Earthmen, look. Watch the power of another world.
Gee, was that a bomb?
I don't know. It was too close, whatever it was. Get out of here.
Get up.
Gee, you're just like the Black Spider. Danger's always having trouble with her.
You speak in riddles. What is your name?
Don't talk to him like that. He's only a kid. Leave him alone.
You should plead for your own life and not for his. He will be safe with me.
Who are you? What's going on? Where do you come from?
You ask a lot of questions. I will deal with you later. Come, we will return to the ship.
Goody.
You aren't taking him anywhere.
You speak unwisely.
Just try taking him. You can't play any of your tricks with me.
No? Come. I will show you wonders you have never seen before.
I don't know whether I'm awake or dreaming. My mind just won't accept it.
If only we could get in contact with someone.
I'd give anything to see a squadron of heavy bombers right now.
That wouldn't help at all. There's probably enough power out there to repel any bombs before they explode.
That horrible robot. That machine. Michael, I'm frightened.
Don't worry, dear. I suppose worse things have happened.
Aye, but not much worse.
If only we could get inside that spaceship. I wonder if...
Have you any ideas, Professor?
What's that?
Jamie! Oh.
No doubt you are having a council of war. It amuses me to watch your puny efforts.
The wise man always seeks to discover the truth. Even his means of doing so are limited.
It would take you 1,000 years to learn a fragment of what we have achieved.
Perhaps not, if I had you for my teacher.
What do you mean?
As a scientist, I can only believe the evidence of my own senses. So far, the only thing I know about you is that you can kill. That is also a human accomplishment. You say your spaceship is very powerful. We also have powerful machines.
None to equal those of Mars.
Indeed.
You say you believe the evidence of your senses. Very well, then you shall see. Perhaps then you will realize your helplessness. Come!
Professor, don't go! Don't go.
I must.
Now you shall see.
But it's quite cool. Yet 2 hours ago it was quite hot.
Only the outside. That was caused by the friction as we entered the atmosphere of the Earth at over 6,000 Solantics. The interior is insulated against heat or cold.
But how did the outside cool so quickly?
You have no wisdom. The entire structure of the nuclear ship is made of a new organic metal. Therefore, each molecular cell can absorb its own amount of heat or cold. It could have absorbed all the heat in a matter of seconds. Fill your eyes, Earthman. See such powers as you never dreamed existed. Now, look again. The evidence of your own eyes, Professor. Can you still see? There is enough power there to drive the ship anywhere in the universe. Enough power to obliterate this speck of matter you call Earth.
What is the power?
Something you scientists have not yet dreamed of. A form of nuclear fission on a static negative condensity.
A negative condensity?
Exactly. Your atomic bomb is positive, causing the explosion to expand upwards and evaporate. Our force is negative and explodes the atomic forces into each other, thereby magnifying the power 1,000-fold.
And the fuel?
Self-propagating. The accessory action of each drive expands, and it causes the same motion to happen again and again. It is what you call perpetual motion.
Perpetual motion? Impossible.
You talk like a primitive savage. Because your science has not discovered these things does not mean they're impossible. Even inventions as radio and television you would have considered impossible 100 years ago. But enough. Now we shall return to the others.
Do you think it'll work?
Kill that switch. Tried bullets. Let me have that knife. Right.
What happens if the professor comes first?
Then we failed. I'm going to stand by that switch. Let me know who comes first, right?
Okay. They're coming. The professor's coming first.
Oh, you sure?
Yes. No, they've changed places. Now, Michael, now!
Right.
You fools. Do you think you can hurt me with this? Even your limited intelligence will convince you by now that you cannot harm me. Perhaps your scientists will help to convince you. Now you must cease your stupid tricks, or I will destroy the child.
The child, you can't have... Oh, dear.
The child is safe, so far. You have seen some of my power. Perhaps this will help to show the others.
You devil, if you harm that child.
Look, she's going all blurry.
It can't be.
You still doubt? The transference of matter into the fourth dimension is simple.
Michael, I can't stand anymore.
I never thought I'd live to see the day that...
How did you get him? How did you know he was here?
He's not there. The poor lad's in that devil's hands. I'll never forgive myself.
Oh, now, my dear, you mustn't blame yourself. We're just simple folk up against a strange power. We can only trust in the Lord.
But we must have sinned something terrible. Michael, no.
We've done enough talking, Helen.
Professor. What's it like in there, Professor? Will he come out alive? Will he come out at all? What is it?
You have taken the child.
So?
Why did you take him?
He is a young creature. His mind is free from your stupid emotions and fears. If I take him, he will make a willing subject.
But a weak one. Why not exchange him for someone who would suit your purpose better?
Exchange him? For whom?
For me.
For you?
Release the child and I'll follow you willingly. It's a fair bargain.
But I must go back. I can't leave Michael alone in that.
Listen, no. Either Michael can achieve what he sets out to do, or he's past any help from us.
Poor wee Tommy. I'll never forgive myself.
You can't blame yourself. If that devil wanted to take him, there's nothing any of us could do to stop her.
How will I ever face my sister with the life of her son on my conscience? No, I'm going out there and I'll fetch him back.
Listen, there's someone outside.
She's back. She'll kill us all.
I bet that scared you.
Tommy!
Oh, thank God.
Oh, dear. Tommy, it's a miracle. That's what it is. Come, dear, sit on my knee. Oh, yeah.
Tell me, Sonny, what happened?
I saw the aeroplane come down from my window. I wanted to have a look. I put on my trousers, Auntie, so it was all right.
Oh, dear.
Then
Yes?
I climbed down the roof with a nice man.
What nice man?
He was up in the attic. He came with me.
What's got into her? Go on, son, go on.
Then we went across to the barn and we saw the big machine come over. Then we turned and ran and ran. And then we met the lady in a black flying suit.
Mercy me, you poor laddie.
Oh, it was fun. Then she took me back with her to the aeroplane. But she didn't show me much. I waited for a long time in a bright sort of room. Then she came and told me to come back. Gee, wait till I tell the fellas at school.
Tommy, did you see a tall, dark man in there?
No, there was nobody there.
Jamie, take him upstairs.
Come on, son, come on. There's a sus with a big hairy boy.
Come, my dear, and help me put him to bed. The Lord be praised, he's safe back with us.
Albert, you're all right. What were you doing in the garden?
Foolish woman, running like a frightened rabbit in the night.
What's the matter, Albert? You're talking all funny.
We are all the slaves of a great and powerful civilization. Let us prepare for our rulers.
Have you gone daft, Albert? I thought you'd gone away.
Go. There is not much time.
Thank goodness for that. But what do you suppose has happened to Mr. Carter?
I don't know. Still, if she let the child go. Michael!
Where's Ellen?
She's upstairs with a wee boy, but...
Michael, what happened out there?
I've got to say goodbye to Ellen first, then I'll tell you.
Mr. Carter. Oh, Mr. Carter, it's Albert, sir.
Who?
Albert Simpson, he's upstairs.
But I thought the chap was miles away.
No, he didn't go. He came back to me. But something's happened. He's talking all funny and he doesn't seem to know me. Oh, quick, sir, come upstairs.
All right. Wait a minute. Go downstairs.
Oh, Mr. Carter.
Go downstairs. Simpson. get him downstairs. Clean him up then.
Mr. Carter, why did you have to knock him out?
If I hadn't, he'd have knocked me out.
What's going on?
It's this convict, Mrs. Jameson. He was upstairs.
So he didn't get away. What's got into you, Gerald? Doris, what do you know about him? Did you know he was up there?
Yes, I helped him to hide.
What?
Mr. Carter says he's a murderer. What can a man like that be to you?
Mrs. Jameson, it really isn't any of our business, and we've other things to think about. Michael, Professor, what's it like in there?
Well, Ellen.
This spaceship must be destroyed.
Destroyed? But how? Professor, what did you see in there?
I saw the source of power. A mere globule of energy, but mighty enough to take the ship here from Mars and back again.
This source of power, it's small?
Incredibly small. Probably a self-propagating atomic pile, exactly in the center of the ship. Perhaps one determined blow delivered might release this power in the form of a terrific explosion. A blow delivered by the right person, given the right opportunity.
But that would be suicide. Certain death to whoever delivered the blow.
One life in exchange for millions, yes.
Professor, what are you trying to say to Michael? What is it that I don't know?
Ellen,
It is time, Earthman.
Oh, what does she mean?
Ellen, I've got to go now.
With her? Why?
Because he made a bargain. He is returning with me to Mars of his own free will. Why do you weep?
Because I love him. I don't understand. What is it she's saying? What bargain has she made with him?
Can't you guess, Miss Prestwick? The bargain was over Tommy the child.
You made your bargain. Do not regret it.
I am not regretting it.
It is better for you and your people to know how helpless they are. The tricks they tried, how childish they were. Nothing can resist this power. That was the last trick, Earthman.
They're coming back. Maybe she's changed her mind.
I doubt it.
Michael. Michael.
He tried to gain control of the robot. Because of his trickery, you will all die.
James.
Do you hear, Earthman? You have brought death upon all in this room. In a few minutes, as you calculate time, the nuclear ship will have repaired itself. When I leave, this house and everyone in it will be destroyed.
Take me with you.
Another trick? Why should I take you?
Because when you get to London, you will need a guide.
A guide?
In spite of your great knowledge, many things there will be strange to you.
Why should I take you?
Since you've been here last, I've been thinking deeply. It is only right that Mars, with its superior knowledge, should triumph over Earth.
Mars will triumph.
I am a scientist. Take me with you. Let me share in that triumph.
But, Professor, you said that you would...
Never mind what I said a moment ago. I've changed my mind. Why should I die? I am willing to go with you on one condition.
Well?
That you spare the others.
I will spare no one. But in saying that I need a guide, you speak sense. I will take one of you. The rest will die.
Then you will take me?
I do not know. 3 times already during this Earth night you've tried to trick me. That will not happen again. No one will enter the nuclear ship till it is ready. I will return soon. One of you will come with me. The rest will die.
Professor, I can't understand it. I can't believe that...
That I was trying to save my own skin? Thank you, Miss Prestwick.
You had me fooled. You sounded sincere enough.
But I am sincere. I am sincere in my efforts to try and get on board that ship. Do you realize that soon it'll be on its way to paralyze London and we're...
What's to be done?
Whoever gets on board that ship must try to destroy it.
But who? Who will do it?
There's very little time left to decide that. I have one little job to do. If we can't save ourselves, perhaps we can save others. I'm going to write down what has happened.
You mean someone may find it?
Yes. What little I have learned may help the authorities while there is yet time. I'll go to my room and try and write it down as simply as I can. The atomic structure of the metal from which the ship is constructed is apparently organic. The molecules can reproduce themselves, the same principle as a tree or vegetable. And like any living thing, it must have a weak spot, a vital spot at which one can strike.
I'm 26, Michael. And in all those years, I haven't done a single thing I really wanted to do.
What would you do if you could start all over again?
Spend more time in the country. Find the right man. Have children. What's the use, Michael?
Ellen, those things you said downstairs.
You must have thought me an awful fool.
Mm-hmm. Why did you say them?
I had a sense of loss.
What?
Well, I don't know how to say it, but I felt I'd found the right man at last and was going to lose him.
Ellen, did you really mean?
Yes, Michael, yes.
Oh, I'd have made a no-good husband. I'm not particularly fond of the country. And as for...
Oh, Michael, you'd have made me very happy. Why didn't we meet years ago?
This business of people meeting and falling in love. You know, if that thing hadn't landed out there, we'd still have met. We'd have been indifferent to each other. Privately, you'd have thought me just a self-opinionated newspaper man.
What about me? Just a stupid girl from the big city dazzling the natives with clothes she gets for next to nothing.
You wouldn't have known what the other was really like.
Oh, Michael.
No. Let's go downstairs and join the natives.
What happened?
You all right, Albert?
I think so. What hit me? That woman?
Never mind about that now, Albert. She must have hypnotized you. Then Mr. Carter came upstairs and you had a fight.
These ropes. Who tied me up?
He did. He thought you might...
I see. He thought I might be dangerous.
Oh, so you've recovered, have you? You remember what happened?
Sort of.
Nothing like a good cup of tea in a crisis.
How's Tommy, Mrs. Jameson?
I've just been up to him. He's sleeping in my room tonight. The poor wee soul's sound asleep.
We must all be prepared for her return.
One of us must be inside that spaceship before it takes off. If one of us is not inside it, we may all die seconds within its taking off. Or she may kill us before it leaves at all. Either way, we all die. Or one of us dies so that the others may be saved. As I've explained, I'm the logical choice.
No.
Jamie!
It's all right, dear. I'm only a useless old man.
You can't, Jamie. I couldn't bear it.
This whole argument is ridiculous. There's only one logical person to go, me. I made a bargain, remember?
Michael, you...
Ellen, I'm not really a very nice person. Hasn't it ever occurred to you that I might have an ulterior motive for going? Selfish reasons?
Selfish reasons?
Yes, the person who goes on that spaceship is under no compulsion to wreck it. He can go to Mars and keep his life.
You wouldn't.
Wouldn't I? Well, the best thing to do is to just wait and see, isn't it?
We're wasting time if we cannot decide who is to go. There's only one thing for it. That's draw lots.
Right.
That's the best idea.
I'll take him, Mr. Jameson. Now, highs goes.
Very well.
Yes.
Professor, you first.
10 of spades.
Mr. Jameson?
What is it, Jamie? The 3 of clubs. The 3 of clubs.
King of spades.
I go.
Michael.
Now, there's very little time to lose. You've got to work as fast as you can. Listen, when you get inside the spaceship, you will see the power crucible in a kind of shaft. Then, it's up to yourself.
I understand.
As for the rest of us, have you got a cellar?
Aye, there's one below this very room.
Well, it mightn't afford much protection, but perhaps it's the best we have in the circumstances. I'll be right now. Come on.
But Albert. What about Albert?
Never mind him. We'll get him down in a minute. Come on, Doris.
Doris, you must come. All right, Miss Presley. In a moment. I'll come. Albert, are we really going to die?
Perhaps, Doris. Perhaps we are.
But I'm scared. Nothing like this has happened to me before.
Nothing like this has ever happened before.
But why to us?
Well, it had to happen sometime. Somewhere. There's no reason for believing that we on Earth are the only living people in the universe. I've been reading about it. There are thousands of stars and planets up there. We'll reach them someday. Probably the moon first, and then out into space.
Will she really kill us?
Maybe not.
She said
She probably didn't mean it. People have to have a reason for killing.
You've got to forget that. You had a reason.
No one has the right to kill, not even...
She was bad. I should never have sent you away.
I'm just realizing what a fool I've been all my life.
Wow.
Doris. Come on now. You must go or they'll miss you.
Go and hide yourself somewhere. Be seeing you.
Goodbye, Doris.
So you are coming.
Yes.
Where are the others?
They are hiding. They are afraid.
Do you go with me of your own free will?
Of my own free will.
Later, Doris. I've got to get Albert down first.
Please. Give him a chance, Mr. Carter. Give him a
chance.
Albert did it.
Mr. Carter!
Oh, Mr. Carter. Oh, Doris.
Oh.
Hello, yes? Yes, this is the Bonnie Charlie. Yes. They want to know if there's been something the matter with the line.
Now we'll all have a drink.
On the house!